How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Jeff with I Download Blog. I am proud to be able to show off CallBar version 2. This is one of my favorite jailbreak tweaks because it allows you to make and receive phone calls without taking the focus away from what you're currently working on. And the nice thing about CallBar version 2 is that it has full iOS 6 support. You can see I'm running iOS 6 on this device here, and you see it's installed. I have options for use CallBar for phone, for FaceTime, use CallBar for outgoing calls. So if I make an outgoing call from Siri, Safari, or using my Bluetooth headset, it uses CallBar instead, which is really nice. You have these color options here for a white background, white buttons, and a white keypad for the outgoing dialer. So you can mix and match those however you want to do that. I actually like, let's see, I think I like this look right here. Well, I like the white buttons on. So white buttons and white keypad is nice. All right, so you also have the sleep button action that just changes the action of your sleep button. Decline call is the standard action. And then you have this CallBar in place dialer, which is really neat. And we'll discuss that a little later. And one of my favorite parts about CallBar actually has no real functionality. It's the guide. It's very verbose. It tells you all about CallBar, how to use it. It's one of the better guides that you're going to find on any jailbreak tweak. Now, interestingly enough, if you look at the iOS 5 version of CallBar, you'll notice a subtle difference between the two. Let's go into the settings for CallBar on iOS 6 and compare the settings here. Now, it looks the same right now, but go down to the general settings and notice if you see any difference there. Ah, yes you do. Reply with message is actually a feature that you find on iOS 5 and not iOS 6. Now, why is this? Well, it's because iOS 6 already has this feature built in. So the guys felt, hey, let's go ahead and put this on iOS 5. So now you get the answer with message reply on iOS 5 courtesy of CallBar when you didn't have this functionality in iOS 5 before. So this is really cool. I'm going to show you how this works here in just a second. Let's go ahead and make a phone call. Actually, I don't have SIM cards in either of these phones, so I'm just going to use FaceTime to show you, and that'll pretty much cover most of the features of CallBar. So let's try it out here. Calling myself. There we go. Ducky Benjamin, FaceTime. So you get the little banner notification for your incoming call. Now, of course, you can tap the little CallBar button in the upper left-hand corner, and then you get the full view here. You can decline, you can answer, you can reply with message, you can remind me later. You can swipe down to hide the options like that. And if you want to get them back, you just tap the little button in the upper left-hand corner again. Now, these are just the basic iOS 6 options for reply with message, etc. If you want to really hide things, just hit the down volume key. And this is really handy if there's actually like a back button you need to access so the banner doesn't take up the full view of that back button. If you want to get it back to full size, of course, just tap it again. It increases it back to the full size banner. Now, if you swipe to the left, that'll actually just completely decline the phone call. So I'll just swipe to the left and that ends the phone call. It logs as a missed call. Now, of course, the purpose of CallBar is to be able to actually accept calls. So I'm going to show you how to accept a call. It's actually really easy in CallBar version 2. You can either do one of two things. Tap the banner, and I'll show you that here right now. So here's the incoming call. If I want to take this call, all I do is just tap the banner like this, and it takes the incoming call. Or I could just swipe the banner to the right, and it'll take the incoming call as well. So two ways to do that. Now, again, to remind you, this phone is running iOS 5, and I just want to show you again, reiterate how nice it is to have these calling options for declining, for answering. You can swipe down to hide those options, but you also have the same iOS 6 options like reply with message and remind me later, which is really nice. You can remind yourself when you're at a certain location or at a certain time. Now, the reply with message is the same on iOS 6 as well. You also have those custom messages that you can set up in the settings for CallBar. So even if you're running an older firmware, you still get the luxury of those iOS 6 call management features. Really nice feature in CallBar version 2. Now, say you're just browsing along on your iPhone, you're searching the App Store, for instance, and you remember, hey, I need to call someone back, but I don't want to go back to the phone app and open up that ugly dialer. Well, you can access your CallBar in-place dialer from anywhere using the activator action. I'm using the swipe down action from the status bar as you saw there, and that allows you to quickly access your dialer, your recent calls, your contacts, and you can access this from anywhere within any app. So you could be doing anything on your phone and quickly call a contact or just dial a number like this. Now, to initiate that phone call, you just tap the banner at the top right here, and that will initiate that phone call. Well, I don't have a SIM card installed, so it's not going to work for me, but you get the point. Really nice feature to have. You can access this from anywhere, and you can easily dismiss it just by swiping to the left, and that'll get rid of the dialer. But as I stated, you can browse anywhere while that dialer is still present and dismiss it just like that. Super nice feature to have, and above all, it's easy to use. Now, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, just how much is this going to cost me? Well, the good news is for current owners of CallBar, CallBar version 2 is absolutely free, and it's $3.99 for new users on Cydia's Big Boss repo. It brings iOS 6 support and iOS 6 features back to iOS 5. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about the new CallBar. This is Jeff with I Download Blog.